Hey there, folks. It's a rare follow-up video. Got an interesting comment from on yesterday's video, or today's, actually still today's video. Hi, I'm a newbie and found a way, they say nice things. As you said at 5:52, this can be solved using clip paths. Would you be able to share how you would approach it? This is a rare follow-up video responding to a comment. Because I did say, hey, you could do it with a clip path. And it's not necessarily obvious how you would do that. This was the final solution. I think this is actually optimized from what I put on video. So let's blank it out and talk about why I said clip path would work and what I think about that. So what I think about there is these chunks, these little chunks, could be a clip path. So if I make a circle, so let's do this. I'm going to set borders of auto and set a background color of this blue, and I'm going to make the body yellow because all I want to do is think about that circle. So I'm going to do aspect ratio 1 and set height of, so I'm going to set margin, okay, so height of some value. Then I need to use this to push this, and I'm going to do what? Border radius. So I just want to do the circle, right? I just want to do the circle. So let's make that circle. So a little more margin, 60, 70. And then if I change this height, I get a bigger 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 160. So now I have that. So the way to do this, so this is 160 tall, 160 wide. Right now I've got these margins like this. If I unset this and then adjust these margins, so what 160 means that it's, so if the widths are 400 minus, it's easier just to do it, frankly, than to do the math. 110, 20, 110, 112. Okay, so there's our circle. And I don't need the aspect ratio. But the way I'm talking about doing this is a clip path. And again, I'm just thinking about this slice, this little thin slice. Oh, and I'm going to need 2 of them, right? Oh, yeah, I'm going to need 2. So if I do this, if I add a second one and then make the second one P plus P is background red. So then if I add a negative margin here, then I can get it to come into place. 2, 3, 4, 200, 210, 20, 25. How about 230, 230, 230. So now I've got the 2 things. So they're right now identical. I think this slice is symmetrical with this slice up here. So when I scale it across the y and x axis, I get the same thing upside down. And I think that'll work, given the conic gradients that we saw yesterday, or the prior video, rather. Okay, so let's do the clip path. What is a clip path? In this case, it's a polygon. There are many kinds of clip paths, including shape, which is really neat, but a little bit more modern and has less support across different browsers, but it is supported in Chromium, and so the CSS Battle backend will accept it. So the clip paths, I need to clip from, if this is really a square, I need to clip from here to here. So what's 1, 2, here to here. So I need 0, some number, how about 30 pixels down, and then over 100%, like, well, how wide is this? So it goes from here to here. So we go 120 to 170. So 50 pixels and down 100 pixels, and then 50 pixels 100%. So you're already seeing that shape, and then 0 100%. So that's how you get that shape. Now I don't have the numbers right quite, but you can see that is getting into shape. So is it 55 over? Yeah, that looks right. So we've got 2 points here, and we need to move both of them. This is, not a great position to be in, but how about 90 and 90? Oh, no, that's not right. So we need that. So that number. So I was changing the 100%, which is actually that bottom corner. So we got 0.30 here, 55 over 90 down here, 55 over and 100% down, and then 0 100% down. So this sort of skewed rectangle. So it's a polygon. Okay, so let's move this 2. So that's worse. 3, 4, 5, 4, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45. How about 35? Now that could be right. There's a little edge there, but it seems to be doing what we want. Now, we don't have, unfortunately, in the background, we're missing the rest of this to see, can we get 100% with this? But if we create the other one and we say scale -1, then we get it for free. And does it line up? It lines up pretty well. So we'll take that, sure. Yeah. Okay, so if that's that, then what do we need to do to create these shapes? I find myself not wanting to do backgrounds just because, well, if we're doing everything different, let's do everything different. Let's do inset. Instead of a background, we do an inset. Let's say box shadow. Inset 3 inches. We need 2 variables there, don't we? 1 inch. Oh, look at that. What a mess. Isn't that a crazy mess? Oh, I probably need to zero out the margin. Margin 0. Oh, and that's going to change everything. But that's okay. We can adjust these numbers. It's probably 120 then. Yeah, there's 120. Okay, so with that, we just created that inset box shadow. And let's do some more reasonable numbers. 10 pixels, 10 pixels. So there's the problem. We've got margins on the paragraph tag, and so box shadow is going to be more complicated because we already got to add margin. We got a box shadow. Again, the margins of things can affect their parents. Margin collapse. There's a lot going on there. Not worth going into. Let's go back, and I take back what I said about doing this background business. But let's do conic gradient, which is going to be 75% of the light blue, and then transparent. And then we need to move it, and then down. Not quite right. How about 80 down? 70, 60, 50 down, 50 down, and then the at value there is something like 100, 200 pixels, 200 pixels. Okay. And then another conic gradient. And yeah, there's better ways to do this. If we had started with an element with a border, which is kind of what this is, that would be another way to do this. You could also use the body element and put a border on it. That's also possible. Nothing wrong with any of those techniques. Let's see if is that 50 by 50. And that color is going to be what, yellow. And then the final background color is the dark blue. And we don't see anything yet. There's our little square. Great. Oh, and our margins are a little bit ski-wampus. I'm not sure why. Oh, because we need to change this back to 112. There it is. Okay, so move it over more. 10, 20, 40, 50, 60. Great. And then 110. And then we need to change that at value to be a little wider. 6, 7, 8, and 80 by 80. And we kind of see this little edge here, but we may be at 100%. Let's submit it to the back end and find out. So that's CSS Battle. Their servers determine. Their servers determine whether we got it right. That's what determines the score. Now, we did make this shape, and we did it in Safari. We wouldn't if we were really going to deploy this shape. So we did get 100%. If we were going to deploy this to a website that we were sharing with lots of people, we would want to check it in Firefox and in Chrome and in Safari and then maybe Edge and maybe look at it on an iPad and our friend with an Android phone. Like, that's how we make web pages. For CSS battles and the scores and the percentages, Chromium is all that matters. But that's not really how we make web pages. We want to make sure that things work for everything, which is what I emphasize here, and which is why when folks say, well, shave off another few characters, that's not what's important to me. I appreciate those of you who care about those things, and there's times when I care about those, and in the battles, which I don't record, I do care about those things, and we'll make optimizations for score. But really, this is for the fun of CSS for me. That's why I do it, which is why, you know, a comment from Aaron, thank you for that comment, can inspire me to say, oh, well, okay, how would I do the clip path? I use smart guy to myself. Hey, you said you could do it with a clip path. What did you think? And I hadn't really thought about it, so it was worth revisiting. So let's minify and unit replace and then submit and see. Maybe this is a better score. Maybe it's not, but it's kind of a fun one. It is a better score. So this is a more efficient one than what I did yesterday, and even the optimization where I put all of the background gradients on. So that's fun. A fun technique using clip path in that instance. And again, we have the paragraph elements. So if I short circuit this, that's those two paragraph elements. And the second one, I'll put a background on that. Background. Like that's another way to do it, right? And you get lots of different interesting effects with that technique, which is enjoyable. Let's do a final score. Are there other things that we could do there? There may be, you know, obviously there's always unit optimizations. You can use a Q unit, you can attempt percentage units. And if, you know, you could spend all day on solutions like this. But you know, the video's the video. Thanks for watching. Appreciate thoughtful comments when they come in and challenge me to say, well, you said this thing, what did you mean by it? And it's worth it for me to revisit things like that sometimes. So thanks for watching. Have a great day, and go make a web page. Oh, and don't forget to be good to each other and be good to yourself too. It's hard to remember to do those things, but you can do it.